Good evening and welcome to the EPCR Champions Cup quarter-final. It's the Northampton Saints at home up against the Vodacom Bulls, and it gives you a pleasure from myself, Roots here on Forever Rugby and Forever Sports, to welcome the viewers who are tuned in. We do want your score predictions in the comment section. There's a lot of debate around, of course, this Bull side that Jake White has put out for this game. A lot of speculation that it's the quote-unquote B side. But nonetheless, Jake White is confident that his team can, in fact, do the business here away from home and reach the semi-final. The Sharks, of course, earlier on in the Challenge Cup, became the first South African team to reach a European semi-final, albeit the Challenge Cup. So good luck, of course, there to the Sharks. But I'm going to take you through the starting 23 of each side, starting with the home team, the Northampton Saints, from 1 to 23. Emmanuel Iyugun, Curtis Langdon, Trevor Davison, Alex Moon, Alex Coles, Courtney Laws, Sam Graham, and of course the South African Jano Augustus to make up the forward pack. 9 to 15, Alex Mitchell, Finn Smith, Ollie Slightholme, Fraser Dingwall, Tommy Freeman, George Hendy, and James Ram at fullback. 16 to 23 for the Saints, Sam Matavesi, Alex Waller, Ethan Waller, Turno Mayanavanu, Angus Scott Young, Lewis Ludlam, Tom James, I beg your pardon, and George Furbank to make up the substitute bench. And of course, going through the wayside, the team that Jake White has put out for the Vodacom Bulls at 1, Simpiwe Matanzima, Aka Vanamerwe, Mornay Smith, Janko Swanepoel, the young J.F. van Heerden to make up the lock pairing there with Janko Swanepoel, Nizam Carr, of course, captaining the side, Mpilo Gumede, Cameron Hanekom, of course, coming back from injury, the enterprising number 8 to make up the forward pack. 9 to 15 is Zach Berger, Chris Smith, Stravino Jacobs, Harold Foster, Henry Immelman, Sebastian de Klerk, and Devin Williams at fullback for the Bulls. 16 to 23 is Jan-Hendrik Wessels, Dylan Smith, Francois Klopper, Merwe Olivier, Reinhard Ludwig, Keegan Johannes, Jaco van der Walt, and the ever-experienced Cornell Hendricks at 23 for the Bulls. So perhaps Jake White having an eye, of course, on the URC, but it's about how you can manage your squad, and the rotation is something that Jake White has been quite adamant about. So I don't think, in my opinion, he wants to throw away this game. He definitely has put a side out that can challenge. A lot of these players have played in Super Rugby finals. The likes of Stravino Jacobs was the number 1 winger before he got injured, of course. Cameron Hanekom, as we mentioned, ever able at number 8. Mpilo Gumede rocking the scenes this season in Europe, in the Champions Cup as well as the URC. So definitely names to look out for this evening. And the Bulls will get us underway from left to right. And kickoff is in fact underway. So if you can, hit the like, subscribe button on Forever Sports. And then, of course, give your comments in the comment section or your prediction for this game, what it's going to be. But it's the Bulls who kick off deep via Chris Smith, deep into the 22 of Saints. And they manage to regather and are going to shape for a kick here via Alex Mitchell, the scrum off, and they find a safe touch down this left-hand touchline via Alex Mitchell, the England international, of course. It's a full house here at the Saints' home ground, of course. Clear skies, so it makes for enterprising rugby. It is the EPCR Champions Cup, and it's Aka Vanamerwe just on the 10-meter mark on this left-hand touchline, who throws the ball into the line out. It's secure. Smith feeds Harold Foster, the number 12 inside centre, who takes it up. They centre field, playing towards this right-hand side now. And it's Janko Swanepoel who's called upon to make a few meters, which he does. Zach Berger to Gumede. Takes two to bring him to ground, but the Bulls recycling the ball here pretty well as it goes down this right-hand touchline to the left winger, Stravina Jacobs, and it's still ball retention for the Bulls. Matanzima goes in to secure. They're up to 6 phases now, the Bulls, keeping possession of the ball. Saints holding their own on defence. Zach Berger to Smith. Foster back to Smith. There's space out wide here for the Bulls. Nizam Kaur in the trenches, the captain carrying, but he's brought to ground. But the Bulls going up to double figures here in terms of ball retention, but then needlessly thrown away. And it's Jano Augustus who comes away with possession, and the referee on the spot there to award the Saints a penalty for a high tackle. Sebastian de Klerk there just going a bit too high for the referee's liking. So Saints under some early pressure here, but it was the offload off the ground that was just intercepted at a fine moment by Jano Augustus. And the Bulls unfortunately conceding possession and now conceding another penalty from the line out. A deliberate knockdown, says the referee. But what is your score predictions here, folks? Saints here on the Bulls 10-meter mark are going to kick for touch. And they find a touch deep inside the Bulls 22. So it's the Bulls' opportunity now to defend. And it's Tiana Stando who says the Bulls by 7. As a South African fan, let's hope that can come to fruition. But it's the Saints who feed the line out from that penalty kick and play quickly now from their hooker, Langdon, who feeds one of the loose forwards. It's knocked on and the Bulls pounce on the loose ball. Gumede comes away with it and makes play go over the advantage line, and the Bulls kick it away and relieve some pressure here. The Saints via slight home to the fullback. James Ram come running up to halfway as they look to make their way into the Bulls half, but some stern defence here for the moment. The Saints, the Northampton Saints at home here in this quarter-final, looking to make a statement, but the Bulls will not be an easy pushover. But it's Ram, the fullback, who joins the line, slips a few tackles, and all of a sudden the Saints via Mitchell are deep into the Bulls 22. In fact, they're only 5 meters out, but it's the right winger there, George Hendy, who just couldn't hold on to the pass from Alex Mitchell. But acres of space on this right-hand side. The Bulls defending a little bit narrow there and almost in a whole heap of trouble there, but it's big defense from Stravina Jacobs. Forced Mitchell into the offload, but it was the right winger, George Hendy, who just couldn't hold on to the pass. The Bulls, however, not out of trouble for the moment. All action here, 5 minutes in. On their own 5-meter mark, the Bulls looking to win the lineup. They've lost it. It's Mitchell. He breaks away. Is he over the line? No, says the referee. They managed to get bodies under the ball. It's going to be a goal line dropout. But that's definitely cause for the Bulls to stand up and take note here. This Saints team, in front of their home crowd, are going to come at you for the full 80 minutes. And Chris Smith will get us underway with the goal line dropout. And immediately, Saints via Augustus, affectionately known as Choki, the South African, plying his trade in England, of course, gives them the opportunity over the advantage line now. Uyogon tries to carry, but he's met with some resolute defence. They're almost up to the 22, playing from centre field towards this left-hand side, but the Bulls via Immelman have driven them back a few meters. But it's the Saints on attack here. Inside the Bulls half, but they've come away with it again. It's Nizam Kar who's done the hard work there. Ripping that ball clear, and all of a sudden, defence to attack, and here come the Bulls. Sebastian de Klerk wrapping up the attacker there, but they're away. It's end-to-end stuff here. Hendy this time, who couldn't hold on to the pass earlier, comes away with it. But the Saints still in possession up to their own 10-metre mark. They managed to clear the pressure 5 metres from their own line with a lovely chase from Sebastian de Klerk. They got the ball clear though. Have worked themselves up to their own 10-metre mark, and just at the base there, an unforced error, a handling error, gives the Bulls the opportunity with the scrum here, but it's all action. Both teams seem up for this, and this, of course, to secure a spot in the semi-final of the Investec Champions Cup. Europe's premium competition. And it's the first scrum of the game. The engine room now will give us an indication, albeit the first scrum. Things can change as the game wears on and the bodies tire. But who has the dominance at scrum time? A very, very important set play here for the Bulls. Inside the half of the Saints, they want to use the opportunities in being in the right areas of the field to convert any sort of pressure into points. Jake White looking nervously on from the coaching box, under all sorts of pressure from the European media. But nonetheless, the Bulls have showed this team is capable in this first 10 minutes of this game. And it's going to be Zach Berger to feed the scrum, and it's an 8 pickup from Hanekom, who's away. Can he offload to Sebastian de Klerk, but he just couldn't hold on to it. The Bulls, unfortunately, they with the real opportunity down this left-hand blind side via Cameron Hanekom. Got the offload away, but it was Sebastian de Klerk who just couldn't hold on to it. We're in for some exciting rugby here this evening. Of course, if you're watching in South Africa, it's 9:10 in the evening. But that doesn't matter. It's all rugby, and if you're a rugby person, you'll be up for this one. If you tuned in from around the world, do share where, in fact, in the world you're tuning in from. Throw us your score predictions there. Let's hear it. At the moment, the score still at 0-0, but it's scrum time there. From that resulting knock on, the Bulls infringing. And it's going to be a clearance via penalty kick from the number 10, Finn Smith there, getting play just about up to halfway. The referee on the spot, calling the tight head of the Bulls out there, Mornay Smith, for going straight down, and it's the Saints who play quickly from the line out, and they're away now. It's Ram again. He has support. He doesn't need it. He'll go all the way. The Northampton Saints are lethal on attack. First phase ball from the line out. And just like that, the fullback scores and opens up the account here on their home turf. The Bulls are going to have to be more savvy on defence there, leaving some holes. And it was the dummy pass from the fullback there that threw the defence off. He had support. He didn't need it. The conversion successful. Make that 7 points to 0. And we have our first try of the game via James Ram, the fullback, running a wonderful straight line and then deceiving the defence with the dummy pass. He wanted the try. He got it. The Bulls will have to contend with the restart here via Chris Smith. Outside, or inside the 22, should I say, Alex Mitchell will have the safety of the touchline if he decides to shape for a kick, but somehow the Bulls have come away with it. It's a penalty to the Bulls, and this is the response we're looking for. They've just conceded a try, but all of a sudden they find themselves deep in the danger zone here. And it's going to be Chris Smith. They've opted for the positive play here down this left-hand touchline to put it out into touch 5 meters from the Saints line. Will we see a driving maul here? The Bulls managed to rip that ball clear. Conceding early, but here they come now via driving maul. Aka Fanamava has possession at the back. The referee's going to call, use it once. In possession are the Bulls. They're 5 meters out and 5 meters in from this left-hand touchline. Zach Berger to one of his tight forwards. Can they keep it alive? Can they turn pressure into points? The Bulls are over! Surely now! Yes, it is! It is, in fact, Cameron Honeycomb. He's looked promising up to this point, and he gets the try. The referee took a second look, but that's all he needed to award the try. The Bulls coming with the power play there. Harold Foster in there, driving his man over the line. Henry Himmelman hot on their heels, but it's Cameron Honeycomb who will be attributed with the try. And the Bulls hit right back. The conversion to come to level it up via Chris Smith. Takes one last look at the ball. Takes a look at the posts. Kicks it over. That's 7 apiece. The Bulls with the perfect response there. And the scores are level. We're 15 minutes in. And it's the youngster, the promising youngster, Cameron Honeycomb, who gets the try. Brad says Bulls going to get smashed, unfortunately. Very weak side, as I mentioned, my brother. There is speculation around this team not being the strongest, with the likes of Kurt Lee Aronson, Billy LaRue, Kanan Moody and company staying behind in Pretoria. But don't you feel this Bull team or the squad has what it takes? It's just defensively here they need to hold their own. Courtney Laws looks to get over the line. Was he held? All of a sudden, we could potentially have our third try here. Yes, we do. The Bulls there, unfortunately, on defense, might be an area where this game could be won and lost. They've looked good on attack, but it was the fly off to his lock partner or lock teammate, Alex Coles, and then in support was Courtney Laws. He was brought to ground just short. Not held, says the referee. He had the presence of mind to get up again and put the ball over the line, the England international. And it's 12-7 with the conversion. Sailing over. Make that 14. We've only had 16 minutes. And Northampton up by 14-7. We're in for a high-scoring game. Yeah, so if you've put down your score predictions, there's no harm in putting down a revised score there, because this is going to be end-to-end stuff here. The Bulls kick off via Chris Smith, and it's Jano Augustus who's pinned for holding on. The Bulls all over that ball. Cameron Honeycomb, ever present there, showing his value, and immediately the Bulls having a discussion here. And it's Chris Smith who has ball in hand, has decided to take the 3 points and get the Bulls potentially into double figures here. With that penalty kick, he's opted for the posts. Andrew Warren, come on Bulls, come on, surely now. Chris Smith with the penalty attempt. He has the distance, of course, he has the direction, and the Bulls are in double figures. It's 14 points to 10. We're closing in on the completion of this first quarter here in the Investec Champions Cup quarter final there. But it's just from the restarts that the Saints have been a little bit iffy. Can the Bulls find a way to exit here as Mpilo Gumede takes the restart? They're just outside the 22. Zach Berger calling for reinforcements. He shapes for a kick. It's gone high. It's going to stay in field. Who wants it? The Bulls come away with it, playing under scrum advantage for the knock-on in the air there. No advantage, says the referee. They're going to come back. We're on this right-hand touchline, 5 meters in. From this right-hand touchline on the Bulls' 10-meter mark there. Going up for it was the try scorer. The opening try scorer of this game, James Ram. But in the process of trying to collect the ball, just knocked it on. And the Bulls will have an opportunity here with the scrum. They want to get things right. They were pinned earlier for going straight down, but they want to get a good set. It looks like a no-nonsense approach here from the referee. This is going to be a fast-paced game. You want to get everybody, all 8 in sync here as Zach Berger looks to feed for the Bulls. Honeycomb again with the pickup, but then he offloads it. And now the Bulls are away via Stravino Jacobs, who comes off his left wing. This time around, though, the Bulls pinned by the referee for holding on. Stravino Jacobs looking for work there, but it was Ollie Slightholm, the left winger, legally over the ball, says the referee. And Finn Smith with the kick deep into the Bulls, 22 now. Via that penalty, they'll set up another line-out set play. But it's all happening here in the Investec Champions Cup. The Bulls just not able to secure that ball in time. And the Saints have been efficient when they've got to this area of the field. The Bulls don't want to let this game get away from them. And again, the Saints coming away with it. Slightholm, who won the penalty, wants to finish with a try. And it is a try for Ollie Slightholm. We thought the Bulls were able to hold him up there. But that's the third try. And we're just about into the second quarter. The Saints up to 19. The Bulls might not be able to win this in threes. Maybe a change in game plan here. But it's Ollie Slightholme who gets the try for the Saints. It's under the sticks. The conversion should be a formality. And they could go up to 21 here and put themselves more than a score clear. In fact, 11 points to the good. Now it's 21 to Northampton Saints, 10 to the Bulls. What a first 20 we've had here. Don't leave your seat, folks. It's tries galore here in Northampton, but the Bulls are going to have to strike back. As I mentioned, not to allow this game to get away from them. It's outside the 22, the restart from Chris Smith. As Alex Mitchell shapes for a kick, it's high, it's in the air there. But it's lost forward and the Saints come again via Mitchell. This time around an unforced error. Momentary sigh of relief for the Bulls. It's gone straight into touch. But unfortunately, there was no advantage, so the referee's going to come back for that knock-on. It was Trevino Jacobs in the air there who just couldn't hold on to the ball. Or in fact, Devin Williams, the fullback. And the Saints will have the scrum just about on halfway, about 15 metres in. From this left-hand touchline, they're just inside their own half. But we've seen up to this point, they can just about attack and are full of running from everywhere on the field. The Bulls have to be high on alert here on defence. Early shove, and it's Mitchell who wants to get this game going. It's the Saints who come again. This time it's the fly off, and Smith looks to put a little grubber ahead there. Just goes into touch before George Hendy could get to it. The touchline, the friend of the Bulls there for the moment. But it's the defence that are going to have to take a hard look at themselves. And the defence, I mean the defence of the Bulls. It's all just opening up a little bit too easy for Jake White liking, I'm sure. Akafanamava with another feed, it's loose. The Saints just have to shift it now. Surely it's just got to go wide. Mitchell playing under advantage. Surely that's advantage over, but in possession. And only 5 metres out here. Alex Mitchell feeds his loose head. Uyagan, the referee, has his hand out for advantage. They don't need it. That's try number 4. It's a point a minute here. In fact, just slightly over a point a minute. They're up to 26. We're only at 25 minutes. The conversion again should be a formality. And it's those 2 points in conversions that will add up as the scoreboard keeps ticking over with 7, 7, 7. And another 7 potentially here. It's the England scrum off. Alex Mitchell. Dummy pass around the fringes, and the Bulls not able to contend with the pace of this game at the moment. One wonders in hindsight if that penalty kick was the right idea to take the 3. This game certainly will not be 1 in 3s now. The Bulls trail 10 to 28 here against Northampton Saints. Very strong side here that Sam Vesti has put out, but the Bulls now from the restart. Can they get possession? It's all a little bit loose for the moment. The Saints stuck deep in their own 22, but they will have the put into the scrum here. Mpilo Gomede with a lovely interception, but then just couldn't hold on to the ball as he was looking for the offload. The Bulls, this young Bulls team, are going to have to put some pressure on the Saints team before this game runs away from them one fields. Still early days, of course, but it's the bench of the Bulls that also have a lot of youth, perhaps not enough experience to handle this tempo. So that will be interesting to see as this game wears on, what impact the bench makes on both sides. The Saints putting some pressure on at scrum time. Augustus with the pick up to Mitchell. But the Bulls just slipping a few tackles here. Slipping a few tackles. The Saints looking for a better angle with the kick here, perhaps. Finn Smith, the fly-off goes in to play at 9. Alex Mitchell was wrapped up, but he's up to his feet now. As he goes digging for that ball, they're only 6 meters from their own try line, so they'll have to exit here. The Saints, but with a comfortable lead at the moment here, up by 4 tries to 1. As we approach the half-hour mark. Up to the 10-meter mark, Alex Mitchell clears there for the Saints. The Bulls with the line-out feed. They want to get it right, though, and they do. They opt for the driving more. Waka Fanamava with the ball at the back. They're on the Saints' 10-meter mark as the Bulls go rumbling on. Aka Fanamava looks to break away. Bumping defenders off, but he's eventually brought to ground. It's Zach Berger who feeds quickly to Chris Smith. But again, an unforced error there. It's Gomede who couldn't hold on to the pass, and the Saints go marching on here. In possession is Alex Mitchell. Still under that scrum advantage here, but you feel as Alex Mitchell shapes to kick here, advantage will be over. Can the Bulls regather this 50-50 ball? They do via Henry Immerman. Pumlani says, like deers in front of headlights for the moment, Pumlani. This young Bull side are just perhaps not coping with the tempo of this game, but in possession still and working their way up to the Saints' 10-meter mark here. Zach Berger to Smith. Lost their shape a little bit on attack, so they put it to the boot. It's a grubber. It's a lovely weight on the kick there. It's all the way up to the 5-meter mark of the Northampton Saints. Can they put some pressure on here at line-out time? Musa Bokbar says maybe it's a game of 2 halves. It will be interesting to see, brother, what impact the bench will have. The line-out is loose. The Saints clean up the scraps there via Alex Mitchell. And the Bulls almost getting over the line there, but just for that scramble there by Alex Mitchell, they managed to clear their lines. But this is the area of the field the Bulls have got to capitalize on. They're into the 22 on this right-hand touchline. Aka Fanamava to feed the line out. The first half has flown by. 4 tries to 1 and a solitary penalty from Chris Smith. It's Nizam Carr who plays Harold Foster. The inside centre, he's brought to ground. The Bulls want to play down this blind side. Zach Berger to Komedi. Can they come away with it? It's Akafanamava! Yes, it is! He's full of running. And he gets the try. The Bulls up to 15. There is hope if you're a Bulls fan. They've just got to play in the right areas of the field, and when they are there, turn that pressure into points. And it was Zach Berger who saw some space down this blind side, and he fed none other than Akafanamava, who had only his sights for the try line. Alex Mitchell was defending all on his own. And the Bulls are in for their second try. The conversion would be the first challenging one of the evening for both sides here. Right up against this right-hand touchline, it's Chris Smith with the opportunity to add the extra 2 now. Decides not to take his time, strikes it, but it fades away down this left-hand upright. Unable to add the extra 2. One feels he could have taken a little bit more time. At all of 25 seconds still on the shot clock. They will rue those 2 points missed there, the Bulls, but up to 15 points. Within 2 scores, 2 converted scores of levelling it up here. As Finn Smith restarts, it's Janko Swanepoel with the safe hands, the Bulls. Calling for reinforcements via Zach Berger as he shapes. It's high. It's going to be contestable. Who wants it? It's the fullback, James Ram, who gets it. And the Saints, via Courtney Laws, take it over the advantage line and into the Bulls' half. Nizam Carr trapped in that ruck there. The referee has pinned the Bulls there for not rolling away, so playing under advantage. Unfortunately, nothing comes of it for the Northampton Saints, as we see a little scuffle off the ball. You want to play rugby? This is not UFC. The Bulls perhaps getting a little bit frustrated there. The referee having a conversation with Cameron Honeycomb, saying, I know you're energetic, son, but let's keep it within the laws of the game. Let's focus on rugby here. The Saints, with the penalty kick into touch, find themselves now via the boot of Finn Smith inside the 22 of the Bulls on this right-hand touchline. The Bulls are going to have to starve off this attack here with some more potent defence. For the moment, they've been a little bit lackluster. You can't just be allowing first phase tries, and again the Saints are only about 7 metres out. They play quickly. It's an interception. The Bulls are away. Who's going to stop him? Nobody will. Sebastian de Klerk. You go, you beauty! That's a try from nothing. But sometimes nothing can turn into something. And he had the jet shoes to go all the way. They were under the pump on their own try line. But Sebastian de Klerk gets the Bulls' third try. And now they're right back in this. Slightly fortuitous, but also wonderful anticipation there from the right wing of the Bulls. They're up to 20 with the conversion to come. Look at him go. Blow, ball, boy, yes, man. What a strike. 4 minutes from half time. Northampton 28, the Bulls 20. as we anticipate perhaps an extra 2 here. Chris Smith just gathering his composure, kicks the extra 2, and the Bulls up to 22. And what an important try. As I mentioned, they were right up against it there. End-to-end stuff. Sebastian de Klerk running all of 95 meters. And then Chris Smith adding the extra 2. The Bulls only a converted score clear here of taking the lead. It's 4 tries, plays 3. And of course that penalty from Chris Smith as the restart is made. The Bulls regather and it's Zach Berger who puts it high. James Mullen says, Jake White masterclass. There's some positive comments there for a South African team there. Shout out, brother. As the Saints in possession look to clear via Mitchell, but it's straight into the hands of Chris Smith, who pumps it upfield, forcing the Saints back into their own half here. The Bulls, there was an awful kick here, have an opportunity in possession via Janko Swanepoel. It's all happening here in the Investec Champions Cup. Is there space out wide? Cameron Hanekom, Courtney Laws trying to get over that ball, but just cleaned out there. The Bulls retaining the ball, playing from left to right here, just about centre field. Zach Berger tried to feed a quick ball there, but just not able to hold on to it. It's going to be a scrum advantage the Saints are playing under here. But what a first half it's been. What conversations will there be in the change room from Jake White and company to motivate this team to take the game by the scruff of the neck in the second half? They're going to have to shore up on defence. Orkut Gravenstein, shout out brother, says go Bulls, go, go, go. Zach Berger puts it high. Perhaps not getting as many meters as he would have liked there. And the Bulls being pinned there for offside. Somebody was in front of the kicker. And is there one last opportunity for the Saints here? As Finn Smith puts it deep into Bulls territory, in fact just outside the 22 of the Bulls. Most certainly wouldn't want to concede now. They've done so well to get themselves back into this game and with a real chance to cause an upset, which many would feel it would be. But they've got to get through this play first and not allow the Saints to come away with it. This time the defence trying to hold him up. But it's the Saints inside the 22 of the Bulls now. They come marching on. Alex Mitchell again looking to break around the fringes. High tackle, says the referee. We're coming back for a penalty to Northampton here. Donna Augustus, 8 on 8, saying hello. I want to take you down, but in the process of wanting to take him down, went a bit high there. Cameron Hanekom, and now the Saints have opted to put it into touch. They're only 5 meters out. Can the Bulls hold out here as the time, normal time, is in the red? What's your score prediction, folks? Do you think there's an opportunity for the Bulls here, the Saints? come marching on with the driving maul. The Bulls somehow have managed to starve off the attack. That will be half time, in fact. Surely now, the Saints up by 28 points to 22. That is half time, folks. Go get your refreshments. But we're in for a crack of a second half. What a first half it's been. 28 to the Northampton Saints, 22 to the Vodacom Bulls. And I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Hello and welcome back. It's the second half, 2 quarters await us here. And we're going to see as the game wears on around that 55, 60-minute mark what impact the benches will have for both these sides. But in case you missed it, it's the Northampton Saints who lead here at home by 28 points to 22 against the Vodacom Bulls. And a worrying statistic though for the Bulls. Up to now, they've been forced to make 62 tackles. They've missed 24. And the Saints have pretty much made in the 50s as well in terms of tackles made. Have only missed 7. So that perhaps the difference for the moment. But we're almost underway here as Finn Smith has the ball in hand. From left to right, the Saints get us underway here in the second half. Sean O'Farrell saying the Harlequins game was nuts, over 40 points for both teams. Are we going to see something similar here as the Bulls get the restart and kick it into touch on halfway? The Saints will feed the line out. It's Alex Mitchell. Who sets up a ruck here, and they're away again. The Bulls, unfortunately, are pretty much going to concede here early on. It's the lock forward, stretching his long legs. Alex Coles who gets over for the Saints, and again they're one phase. They switched it up to play down this left-hand side again. Alex Mitchell looking right. Courtney Laws with the soft hands. Feeding his outside centre, Tommy Freeman. And it's the big, tall lock forward, Alex Coles, who gets in for the Saints. Not the way the Vodacom Bulls would have wanted to start this second half. Saints up to 33 points with the conversion to come. Finn Smith makes it an extra 2. Make that 35, the Bulls again have to score twice and convert twice to take the lead here. And in the process, they can't afford to concede any points, of course. But it's Chris Smith. Both Smiths that fly off today. Finn Smith for the Saints and Chris Smith for the Bulls. And it's Chris Smith who gets us underway with the restart just outside the 22. Alex Mitchell shapes with the kick. It stays in field. It's Devin Williams who's safe under the high ball. The Bulls manage to recycle 5 meters from this right-hand touchline. Just about on halfway, the Bulls go marching on. Can they respond here? Sebastian de Klerk looks to keep the ball alive and feed Harold Foster. But running a little bit laterally there, the Saints trying to drive over that ball, but the Bulls managing to recycle for the moment. Zach Berger. The Bulls have gone back some 10 meters here on their own 10-meter mark, 15 meters in from this left-hand touchline. Zach Berger shapes with the kick. And again, the referee telling the Bulls they're offside there. Within that 10-meter range of the kick. They've got to make themselves redundant, and according to the referee, they have not done so. The Saints are going to be playing in the right areas of the field, especially when Finn Smith puts them about 8 meters out on this left-hand touchline from the Bulls line. The Bulls are going to have to keep their composure here. They can't concede again to have a realistic chance of getting back in this game. But it's Langdon who feeds the front of the line out. They break away. It's George Hendy who comes away with an advantage, says the referee. The Bulls under the pump here. They did so well to get back into the game at 20 points, 28 points to 10 down. But playing under advantage, the Saints can't make anything of it. Mornay Smith, the tight head prop, comes in to save the day. But they will come back for the penalty advantage, no doubt. And the Saints, no doubt, will put it into touch. They've been doing it in sevens. That's their fifth try to take it to 35. Via Alex Coles, the lock forward. Opting for the scrum here, the Saints. 20 metres in from this right-hand touchline. Can the Bulls do what they did just on the stroke of half-time and hold out this attack here? Alex Mitchell with ball in hand to feed. Johan Smuts says, Kombala. Oh, baby blow. Just a reset called by the referee there. We're 5 minutes in to the second half. We've seen a try converted already from the Saints. And again, they find themselves deep in the danger zone of Bulls territory here. The head coach, Sam Vesti, looking on. Perhaps feels his side has the ascendancy here, especially where they're playing and what areas of the field they're on. Augustus looks to break away. He's only 2 metres out, but it looks like it's gone forward. In my opinion, but it looks like the referee's going to go upstairs in consultation with the TMO. But immediately they look to play quickly. They were playing under advantage from that scrum. Augustus there with the pickup from that last scrum. And a tap and go here for Saints. Northampton looking to drive themselves over the line. Uyugun, the loose head. The Bulls under all sorts of pressure on defence. 3 metres out. The ball's just got to go wide now. And it is a try. It's a brace for the fullback. And they're up to 40 points now. The Bulls under all sorts of pressure here. The fullback has been full of running all evening. Deservedly gets his second try. And the Bulls just about 8 minutes into the second half have conceded 2 tries, the conversion to come. But it's James Ram who finishes off there. And Northampton up to 40 points. The Bulls at 22, the conversion attempt to follow from Finn Smith. He's looked composed. He's looked assured. Takes a look at the posts. The strike is good. It's hit the upright, would you believe it? That's his first miss of the evening. They stay at 40 points to 22. Oh, the Bulls out of steam here. You don't want to make too many changes. That could make things a little bit too disjointed, in my opinion. But we're bound to see some changes soon as Hanekom comes in with a big tackle. And the Bulls all of a sudden in possession. Thanks to that man, Cameron Hanekom. With some strong defence from the restart, the Bulls via Gumede. Nizam Kar, it's quick ball, the Bulls are in! Don't take your eyes off this game! It's Sebastian de Klerk who gets a deserved brace here. Gumede kept the ball alive, basketball style. The Bulls up to 27. Would you believe it? There's going to be a TMO check here. Let's wait and see what the referee's asking for. They're looking at the tackle of Cameron Hanekom there, perhaps going beyond the 90 degrees. They might come back, overturn the try there and award a penalty to the Saints, folks. It was a strong tackle. It's up to the TMO to decide. Was it a rugby collision? In fact, no, it wasn't. It was beyond the 90. What looked for all money like a wonderful bit of defence has turned into mini heartbreak here. It's number 8, Cameron Hanekom, who's been summoned by the referee. Some stern words. Nizam Carr coming over to get the referee's final words. But there won't be a try. It's going to stay at 22. And it's Hanekom who will spend the next 10 minutes in the bin. We thought Sebastian de Klerk was over there. But the Bulls are now really up against it. Down to 14 for the next 10 minutes. As we hit the 50-minute mark, it's Finn Smith who puts the ball into touch from that penalty. I say mini heartbreak there. That would have really kept the Bulls in the game, but now they have to contend with this attack from the Saints. With one man down as Northampton come again. The Bulls all over the place here. It's Slight home again. The left winger looking for some work and making some wonderful meters over that vantage line. They're into the 22. The Saints looking to shift it. They've just got to free it up. Is there some wonderful defence on this left-hand touchline? Stravino Jacobs coming to the rescue. When it mattered for the Bulls, it looked for all money, like the ball was going through the hands. And George Hendy was going to get over. But just at the last moment, there's some big defence forcing George Hendy into touch. Big shout out there. Big piece of defence from the Bulls. We need to see more of that. But Aka Fanamava has thrown it loose. And it's Sam Graham who picks up the loose ball. The Bulls under all sorts of pressure. That's a try. The lineouts somewhat of a shambles here. And after having that try ruled out, and subsequently Cameron Hanekom going to the sin bin, it's the inside centre, Fraser Dingwall, who scores the try for Northampton. And now they're running away with it. They're well clear at 45 to 22 with the conversion to come. Finn Smith, after hitting the upright in his early attempt, makes no mistake. It's 47 to Northampton, 22 to the Bulls. Three unanswered tries in the second half for Northampton here. And the Bulls have a mountain to climb, trailing by 25 points. 7 tries, plays 3. It's been a festival. But unfortunately not if you're a Bulls fan. Too many missed tackles. As we see an early substitution from the Bulls. Dylan Smith coming on the field for Matanzima. And Francois Klopper coming on for Mornay Smith. Changes in the front row for the Bulls. Will that stable up the scrum somewhat? Putting the youngsters on there. As the Bulls have possession inside their own half between their 10 metre and 22. It's Zach Berger who will shape for a kick here. And it's James Ram, the safe hands of the fullback. Showing not only his worth in scoring tries, but also his worth under the high ball. The Saints up to halfway centre field. As they play down this right-hand side, the Bulls are going to have to find a way to put a halt to this Northampton Saints side, because they're all out attack here and just about getting 3 points every time they get into the right areas of the field. But the Bulls have been gifted a penalty. And without question, immediately put the ball up to the 22 of the Saints here. They've got to get the line out right there. It's a set play where the Bulls are normally so strong. But this side, of course, not having much time to train together. We don't want to make any sort of excuses. Pressure can do that to you sometimes. The Bulls get the line out. And it's Aka Fanamavo who feeds. Harold Foster takes it up over the advantage line, the Bulls. Zach Berger to Kamede. In possession. Van Heerden looks to keep it alive. Sebastian de Klerk, full of running, the right winger, is brought to ground. They're playing from right to left. For the moment, not going forward. They need to find someone to take it over the advantage line. Nizam Carr stopped short of the 22, the Bulls. Remember, still playing with the man down. It's de Klerk again, who runs out of space. It's going to be a line out to Northampton here. The Bulls are going to have to throw everything and the kitchen sink at this one. He managed to get the offload away to Aka Fanamava, but there was just no more space left on the field. Northampton, should I say, win the line out. And they come away with it via Alex Mitchell. They're almost up to the 22. Zach Berger looking to free it up. But they've rescued the situation momentarily now. The Bulls, Devon Williams goes in to try and secure the ball. It's a strong counter-ruck. But the Bulls have possession. But now they're inside their own 22 in the blink of an eye. As the Bulls shape for a kick, it's high. No real pressure on James Ram there. And Northampton have possession on the Bulls' 10-metre mark here. In the lead by 47 points to 22. Still a man down, the Bulls. For the next couple of minutes, 3 minutes to be exact. Freeman looks to free it up for George Hendy, not Henry. But in the process, they've knocked it on. So an unforced error there, and we see a couple of substitutions here in Alex Waller and Ethan Waller coming on the field. So both front rows are going to be replaced. The Bulls are ready. And it's up front where the Saints have begun to bring on the finishers here. We're closing in on this third quarter. The Bulls, as I mentioned, have a huge mountain to climb. At halftime, one felt 6 points down. They were still in it. But it's those 3 tries in the second half, and with no response, that have really hurt the Bulls here. Andre Turin says the Challenge Cup is like Currie Cup second division, not difficult. Nonetheless, for the Sharks, still an opportunity for them to get into the Champions Cup, of course. Automatic qualification for the winners of the Challenge Cup. But our focus here is on the Bulls. And the front row of the Bulls being destroyed there. The referee on the spot saying it's a collapse on this loose head side. And it's Dylan Smith not able to deal with the heat up front there. The Saints go marching on and are in the Bulls 22 once again on this left-hand touchline with the line out to feed. After that kick into touch. In fact, an unforced error there from Finn Smith trying to get too many meters on the kick. Has kicked it dead. The Bulls will have a scrum. But if that earlier scrum is anything to go by, the Bulls are going to want to get it in and out. Still with the man down. Cameron Honeycomb in the sin bin after that earlier foul play. So that's also a point to consider. And again, though, the Bulls conceding a scrum penalty. And it's going to be a moment of deja vu for Finn Smith here, who can just about from the same spot put it into touch. This time, he's got better direction. They're only 12 meters out from the Bulls' try line. Straight to ground, says the referee. The inside centre, Harold Forster, going in there to keep it 8-on-8, but just not able to keep things together there at scrum time, the Bulls. There's a contest, but the Saints come away with it again. Up by 47-22, but straight off their feet. At the ruck, the Bulls will have an opportunity to clear here. Trying to secure the ball, and in the process, going off their feet, holding on, was the reason they went off their feet. The Bulls legally all over that ball. Johan Smat says Jake White moet afgedank word. That's a little bit harsh, don't you think there, brother? The Vodacom Bulls still right up there in the URC Challenge. There has been talk, obviously, that their focus is on the URC, so that could be a point of debate. When you look at a team like Leinster, who are able to function properly in dual tournaments, the Bulls perhaps just struggling with the experience at the moment. on how to get back into this game. Starts with making your tackles, but a wonderful little kick into the 22 of the Saints, but Ram inside his 22 makes a wonderful clearance, but the Bulls decide they want to play quickly here. And away with it comes Trevino Jacobs. Back on the field is Cameron Honeycomb, so they're back to 15. As Smith looks to feed Devon Williams, they take it wide. Gumede in the trenches. You can't barge your way over the players. Sometimes you've got to create the attack with some shape. The Bulls here with a little chip ahead. And Hendrik Wessels looking to collect the chip, but just knocking it on in the process. And we're still stuck at 47 to 22 and the sands of time now. Although there's still 18 minutes to play, the Bulls are going to have to strike, because they've been leaking points here in Northampton. It's going to be a scrum down to the Saints. Jez Fowler says it was an exhibition game. I take it you're referring to this one. Almost looks a little bit too easy, or it has looked a little bit too easy for Northampton up to this point, in the way they've gone about scoring their tries, all 7 of them. Just that one missed conversion, and the scrum really folding now as Augustus looks to break away. And he feeds Lewis Ludlam on attack again here, shifting the ball down wide to Hendy. 8 meters out. It's the left winger, Ollie Slightholm, who picks and goes. Mitchell. It's wave after wave here for Northampton. But just in the process there of recycling the ball, they've knocked it on. The Bulls living off scraps at the moment here, stuck deep inside their own danger zone. Indy was away down this left-hand side. A pick up from Ollie Slightholm. Is this another conversation here between the referee and the TMO? Doesn't look like it for the moment. Henry Immerman perhaps going slightly high. The Bulls getting away with that one for the moment. 5 meters in from this left-hand touchline, about 7 meters out from their own try line. Three unanswered tries. The Bulls are going to have to find some sort of response. It's Hendricks who looks for the cross kick. He finds Sebastian de Klerk. He's kicked it straight to Ollie Slightholm. Make that 4 unanswered tries. Unfortunately there, Sebastian de Klerk was looking to kick the ball upfield into the body and into the hands of Ollie Slightholm. Fortuitous, albeit for Northampton, they get their 4th try. In fact, it was off the hand of James Ram, the fullback. He's really been prominent in this game. But it's advantage to the Bulls, says the referee. An infringement there, so no try. We're coming back. It's all happening so fast, I had to collect myself there. No try, says the referee. The Bulls up to the Saints' 10-meter mark. Even I'm breathing a sigh of relief there. The Bulls have such a mountain to climb. That would have just all but sealed it. But they haven't managed to win their own line-out ball there. It's all loose. It's Northampton. look to come away with it, and this time it's Ollie Slightholm. They can't bring him to ground. It's the bounce of the ball now. It's Jan-Hendrik Wessels who gets back, but he's carried it back. And it's going to be an attacking scrum here. Ollie Slightholm with the kick ahead and chase. In his way, unfortunately, was Jan-Hendrik Wessels. But it's the missed tackles that are coming back to hurt the Bulls. The tempo of this game really showing on the players now. It's an attacking scrum for Northampton. Alex Mitchell, the general at 9. Just giving his last words of wisdom for the attack here. 15 metres in from this right-hand touchline. 5 metres in from the Bulls' try line. Augustus has the ball at his feet. The referee ordering them to use it. Augustus breaks away and feeds Tommy Freeman. Mitchell. They're only 2 metres out now. Northampton over for the try. That's try number 8. They've hit 50. It's 52 points to 22 if you're a Bulls fan. It's all starting, or it has started unraveling much early on. But reality is kicking in now. We were hopeful at half-time, but 4 unanswered tries. In the second half, it's Alex Mitchell with the brace. The scrum off. He's ditted and darted all evening. It's Finn Smith who adds the extra 2. And they're up to 54 now, Northampton. The Bulls still stuck at 22. And for the most part have been pretty much stuck inside their own 22 for a large part of this second half. And when they've been down in the Bulls 22, they score them tries. They know how. And just finding a blade of grass there from the restart before it went into touch was Jaco van der Walt, so it will be a line out on the 22 here to Northampton, the Bulls. And perhaps the lack of experience just taking its toll now, but they win a line out against the throw. And it's Nizam Kho comes away with it. Keegan Johannes. Changes are plenty here for the Bulls now. Is it going to open up for them? Jan-Hendrik Wessels runs into Ludlam. Manages to get over the advantage line, and in possession at the base is Johannes. The Bulls recycle, working their way up to the 22, but a big hit on one of the Bulls attackers there. In possession here, the Bulls, just an unforced error there. Gifting the ball back to Northampton and playing under advantage. They're all about going forward here, Northampton. Advantage over, says the referee. It's kicked ahead. And we're just about on halfway on this right-hand touchline with the Bulls to throw in. But no points in the second half for the Bulls. Where are the Bulls fans here in the comments section? Do jump, of course, over to the review right after the game. And in the live chat, give me your short summary of what you thought this game was about, what you think was in the mind of Jake White, and what we can still look forward to from the Bulls. Of course, in the URC, it's another lost line out, the set pieces. are all but turning into a shambles here as Northampton look to break away. Slightholm coming off his left wing. As Ram looks to break away down this left-hand side, the Saints keep it alive, working their way up to the 10-metre mark. Still in possession. Breaking tackles. That's been the order of the day, and it's hurt the Bulls, no doubt. You've got to make your tackles as Augustus looks to break away. Northampton look for try number 5, but somehow it's intercepted by Janko Swanepoel, but illegally so, says the referee. In an offside position there, and Northampton pretty much in the second half have really showed their class, this English Premiership side. We hate to say it, but most certainly it's a learning curve for this Bulls team. And it's Northampton who take a quick tap and go here. They backing themselves all the way, and why not? The scoreboard would suggest they have every right to do so. Looking to get over. Make that try number 9. And make that try number 5 in the second half. It is, in fact, Jano Augustus, the South African, who adds insult to injury against his South African compatriots here with the try. And Northampton up to 59 points. And this game is all but said and done. The Bulls in the second half. Whatever conversation they got at half time, perhaps they were not listening as intently as they should have. It must have gone in the one ear and out the other. The conversion unsuccessful, though. It stays at 59-22. And now the conversation comes alive from the European media. The debate around the side that Jake White has put out for this game. No challenge for Northampton. And we can't lay blame on this team. In a sense that they're here, they're part of the Bulls' bigger picture. But it's just the tempo of the game. The value in experience, in how to manage a game, of course. Just not there for this young side. It will be interesting to see, of course, what Jake White has to say in his post-press conference. Keep in mind the Bulls still right up there in the URC as they look to break away down this left-hand side via Gumede. But he's forced into touch, and that's the difference here. One of the differences, besides the set pieces being more efficient from Northampton, is the ability to make their tackles, close the attacking space. More intense on defense as the Saints go marching on with a couple of minutes left to play, surely into that semi-final spot of the EPCR Champions Cup. The Bulls put up a fight in that first half to take it 28 points to 22. But 31 unanswered points in the second half has been nothing short of disastrous for the Vodacom Bulls. No doubt Jake White will have steam coming out of his ears in frustration. Definitely backed his side. But as I mentioned, it's just that experience lacking here. Had a crucial part in this knockout stage of the Investec Champions Cup. 31 unanswered points in the second half. Simply not acceptable. As a Bulls and rugby supporter, those missed tackles, as I mentioned, have really come back to hurt the Bulls. Conceding soft tries, you feel, although one can't take the credit away from Northampton. The Bulls have had to really, or they should have made their tackles in not conceding those tries, to be honest. As Devon Williams kicks the ball away, which they can ill afford to do now. 3 minutes to play. It's come off a Saints player, so it's going to be a Bulls put into the line out on the 22 on this left-hand touchline. As the Bulls break away from the line out here, Cornell Hendricks goes in to secure the ball. Keegan Johannes. It's all consolation now for the Bulls. Still in possession, but driven back. The intensity is still there from this Northampton Saints side. Every reason for the home crowd to cheer them on. They've been simply sensational this evening. Unfortunately for the Bulls, just not able to deal with it on any level. Showing some heart to fight back, but going backwards here now in possession. They're back on their own 10-meter mark after starting from that line out on the 22 of Saints. The Bulls perhaps running out of ideas, running out of steam. And the Saints will in fact go marching on with a spectacular performance in front of their home crowd. The Bulls still in possession. Johannes feeds one of his tight forwards now. But it's all one-off runners here, the Bulls. Losing their shape on attack. Going off their feet at the ruck. And conceding the penalty. That's what defensive pressure can do. And we're into the final minute, folks. Jake White already making his way down from the coach's box. That's never a good sign. But what a high-scoring game here in the Investec Champions Cup quarter-final. As the Saints put it into the Bulls half with that penalty kick just over the Bulls' 10-meter mark on this right-hand touchline. Sam Matavesi to feed. The Bulls have come away with it. Johannes shapes with the kick. But it's rather a nothing kick there. Fielded by Tom James, who puts it deep into the Bulls' 22. The Bulls have to come running now. Time is up on the clock. The Bulls look to run it from deep. It's Trevino Jacobs. The Saints have had enough, and they go marching on to the semi-finals of the Investec Champions Cup. They defeat the Bulls by 59 points to 22. It's that second half that buried the Bulls. 31 unanswered points. 5 tries to 0 in that second half. 9 tries overall. And Northampton 59, the Vodacom Bulls 22. From myself, Roots, here at Forever Rugby and Forever Sports. It's been an absolute pleasure. But at the same time, heartbreak as a South African rugby supporter, as Jake White and his men lose away from home and they knocked out of the EPCR Champions Cup by 59 points to 22. Until next time, I say bye for now.